today we have one of our best-selling vehicles in the best-selling color, but is it the best-selling trim? Hey everyone, my name is Charlotte.
And I'm Pat.
And today we are walking you guys through the 2025 Kia Seltos X-Line. And where does this fall in the trim lineup?
This is the absolute top model.
The absolute top trim. And so today we are going to walk you guys through a full review of the exterior, the interior, the tech, the safety, the performance. If you want to know about it, we are going to talk about it for you today. And I also want you guys to let us know, do you think that this is going to be something that is worth it? Because this X-Line package is a little bit different than some of the other ones that we see on vehicles like the Telluride or the Sorento. And you got to keep watching to find out why. So let's get into it, shall we?
I'm going to be your cameraman for the day.
Yes.
Charlotte's going to be the presenter. Well,
we have dad and daughter today. You're going to have to turn the camera around.
Oh my started pretty,
okay. Hit
pretty
the button.
Bad.
No, hit the button. It's just like normal. It's like it's like a normal camera.
It's been a while since I've done this.
Your age is showing. All right. Good recovery. And hopefully now you guys can tell that these videos are shot in live time. We do them every single weekday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so feel free to come and join us. And if you haven't and you're watching this after it's already live, it's usually not this chaotic because I've got Gabby with me. Sorry, Dad. But, but please subscribe to the Kia Hyundai channel, like this video, and leave a comment down below if you have any questions that we don't answer for you today. All right, so let's start off by talking about what paint color this is. This is Gravity Gray, which I love because it really hides dirt, snow, any residual really well, and it's got a nice pearly sheen to it too. It's a beautiful paint color and hides a lot of stuff really, really well. Now, when it comes to the X-Line and what makes the Seltos different is when it comes to the Sorento and the Telluride is you get a little bit more enhanced capabilities with those vehicles such as ride height or transmission cooling or increased towing. Yeah, you don't get any of that with this. It's just an appearance package. But appearance is often invaluable, and let's be real, here in North America, we care about the aesthetic of our vehicle, and this one definitely looks good. I love it with this paint color. I think it looks a lot more menacing, and some of the elements that you are gonna get when it comes to the X-Line is gonna be some differences in your grille. So for our grille casing or housing, my apologies, it's this dark gunmetal. It's got a little bit of texture to it. Again, looks really good. And then also our grille, we have a nice high gloss black grille, which looks really stunning. We've got our integrated headlight unit in it as well. And again, great face. The Seltos was refreshed in 2024, and this is something that they did really, really well on it. Our front and rear skid plates are going to follow that same gunmetal approach. Again, they look good, a little bit more beefed up than we typically see. And overall, this is a really good looking vehicle with the darker elements just making it seem a little bit more menacing. For our headlights, our fog lights turned off. Let me turn those back on. We have full LEDs though, and if you couldn't tell, we have LED fog lights. Turn those back on. So full LEDs, and we even have a little light on the wheel well too. It's not just a reflector, we do have an actual marker light there, which I think is something worthwhile pointing out. Now this vehicle doesn't just look good, it also is very, very safe. And for our front, we have a great amount of safety features, such as advanced forward collision avoidance assist, which does have the power to apply emergency braking if it should detect anything like a pedestrian, a cyclist, or a vehicle that could cause a collision. This can stop it for you, which I think is a great feature to have. Additionally, we're gonna have things like lane following assist, lane keep assist to help give you an overall smoother drive, and that's also gonna be partnered with our highway drive assist. Man, let me breathe. So in the, actually in the windscreen of our vehicle, you'll notice that we have a little camera. You're probably not gonna be able to see it on camera, but that's okay for today. But what that's going to do is that's going to work with our front radar plate to give you that highway drive assist feature. And basically what this has the power to do is it has the power to automatically adjust your following distance, where you are in your lane, and also your speed when you are driving on a registered highway. And it does so very seamless, where it doesn't require too much driver thought. The vehicle just very smartly adjusts itself, but it's not a full self-drive system, so you still got to keep your hands on the wheel. Don't do that. Speaking of wheels, let's take a look at these ones. So for the X-Line, again, one of the differences that we're going to see is these 18-inch alloys. I think that they look really, really good. They're glossy black accenting. We've got our Kia center caps, and overall, again, I love the the blacked out look. I think that's something that draws a lot of people in, especially all of these black or darker elements. We have a little bit of plastic trim around our wheel wells, which I think suits this vehicle well with it being a more rugged exterior. That's typically what the X-Line approach goes for. So especially with this paint, it does blend in really nicely. So if you're not a fan of this, this might be the paint color to look at too, or black. For our mirrors, we do have a turn signal indicator, which I feel like should be standard on every vehicle, but it's not for some reason. But I love the extra peace of mind of having something here. Our mirrors, they are a mix of a black plastic, but then also body color. And for safety features, we do have blind spot collision avoidance. So what this is going to do is if you go to indicate a turn or move over lanes, if it detects that there is someone there, but basically what it's going to do is you'll get any illumination on the icon here. Man, messing up my words again. But it will also give you an audible alert inside the cabin. So very nice feature to have, one of my personal favorite safety features. Our door handles, they are body color, and on them we have a little bit of an indent. That's going to be used with your proximity key, but also for digital key. So we have the capacity where if you want to actually start or unlock your vehicle from your phone, you can do so. And if you don't want to do that, all you have to do is have the key on you. You can go and bring your hand up, and it will automatically lock or unlock. You don't have to take the key out of your pocket. Up top, we have some raised roof rails. They are we have a mix of black plastic, but then also some high gloss, which again, looks really good, a little bit more rugged. And then also you'll notice we have some black plastic just around our windows with some more traditional chrome on the belt line of the vehicle. As we come around to the rear, we can go and take a look at everything we got going on back here. So full LED taillights as well. And I like how they really stretch further in towards the Kia logo. I think that looks really good, especially at night when this is really all that you're seeing. It looks great. And again, LEDs very visible to those who may be around us. We have a rear wiper, a high mounted stop lamp as well, which is an LED. And again, love the rear wiper. For the future though, I would like to see the hidden wiper tucked underneath. In this specific body style, we don't have enough room, but maybe in the future, we just might. And then you'll notice down at the bottom, we have that same gunmetal for our skid plate. I think looks really, really good as well. I'm gonna open up the rear. Power lift gate. First time we saw that was 2024, and it's one of my favorite features as always. The nice thing too is it is adjustable, so if this is too high for me, I can bring it down, press and hold that, and it's gonna go and set the new height for me. You'll also notice that you have a cargo cover that does come with this vehicle. And for cargo space, the thing I like about the Seltos is you have a good amount of passenger space, but also a decent amount of cargo space given the size of the vehicle. Very similar to the Sportage in that aspect. Underneath here, you guys are gonna be excited about this, but you have an actual temporary spare tire. Woohoo! It's not just a mobility kit. The nice thing too is if you do want a little bit more cargo space, your cargo floor can drop down to give you a little bit more of a shelf, a little bit more storage room, about 2.5 inches probably. That way if you have groceries, none of them are going to be rolling around back there. Close that up and we'll come around to the side. I want to talk a little bit about the fuel door. So for fuel, nothing special is needed. You can just do regular unleaded, which is fantastic. And for our our combined fuel economy, you're going to be looking at 9.1 liters per 100 kilometers. So this vehicle is something that does very good, especially for the fact that it is all-wheel drive. Now, one thing I haven't talked about is going to be our powertrain. So I'm going to go and pop the hood. My cameraman will hopefully meet me up there, and we'll talk about some of the specs of this vehicle. So let me get this open, but to start off, you are going to have a 1.6 liter turbo 4-cylinder GDI engine, and that's going to be paired with an 8-speed automatic. So previously we saw a dual clutch on this vehicle, but that has since gone away for a traditional automatic. Regular prop arm, and here's a good look at this vehicle. Now your horsepower and your torque, it's not going to be a monster, but it's pretty good for a vehicle of this size. We've got 195 horse, 195 pound-feet of torque, and I actually drove a Seltos for a couple of years, and I did it in the winter and I really enjoyed it, and that was the dual clutch. So if you're not a fan of the dual clutch, you're probably really going to enjoy this vehicle because we're getting rid of some of that choppiness that can sometimes be characteristic of that and just going for a regular smooth shifting automatic, which, let's be real, everyone loves that. Everyone loves an 8-speed. This vehicle, it is also all-wheel drive, but it's going to operate in a smart all-wheel drive system, meaning it's going to predominantly act like, that's not close all the way, but it's fine. Meaning it's going to predominantly act like it is front-wheel drive to help with your fuel efficiency, but when it does need some power kicking in from the rear, that's when that all-wheel drive system is going to kick into place. You're also going to have designated drive modes, which are going to go and change up how the powertrain is going to respond to this vehicle, and because it is all-wheel drive, you are able to manually lock your differential to give you that 50-50 torque split. All right, let's take a look inside. Got to catch my breath. That's the one thing about doing these when I'm doing all the talking.
What's your favorite feature on this car?
I like the memory seats.
The memory seats?
Yeah, because, well, look at you and I, for example. Oh my goodness, yeah, you guys aren't looking at you. at us. He doesn't know how to flip the camera.
Here, no, I got it. I know
So
now.
we are drastically different heights. We are drastically, oh my goodness. Gabby, come back, please. We are drastically different heights, so memory seats is really good, especially if you're in a multi-driver household. What you can do is not only
Right.
can you link them to your user profile, but you're not wasting time adjusting the seat every single time. Everything is just set the way that I like it. So spoiler alert, this trim has memory seats. Over here you can see them right up the top. Also our speaker design, not only is it a premium sound system which looks good or sounds good, but it also looks good with some of the detailing that we have. Our mirrors are electronically controlled, and our driver's window is going to be a one-touch with pinch protected. So fantastic to see. Chrome for the interior on our door handles. And then for our seat, our driver's seat, you'll notice that we have our regular 6-way power adjustable, but also 2-way lumbar support. Now, one of the reasons the Seltos has done so well in Canada is I like to think of it as the Kia Soul's big sister. And depending on what you feel about the Kia Soul, this vehicle can either look a little bit better to you and be a little bit more of your taste, but one of the things that it offers is just ease of entry and ease of exit. So it's very easy to get into, but it's still giving you all of the convenience of the Kia Soul with its size, and then also all of the comfort on the inside.
So would you say if you have like hip pain, knee pain, this is probably the type of vehicle you should look at?
Yeah, this is something that you would probably do well in.
Because you can just slide in.
I have been in this vehicle when I was 9 months pregnant, and I could get in and I could get out, and it wasn't uncomfortable, and I didn't get stuck. I did get stuck in the Forte.
Lee asked a question about me sitting in the driver's seat because he's 6'5", so we can do a fit test in a few minutes.
There we go.
I'm not 6'5", I'm like 6'1", plus maybe an inch with
Your shoes.
so probably 6'2".
These seats, they are also heated and ventilated, and they're a Safina leatherette, so it is a synthetic leather. On this side, brightness adjuster, also your heads-up display if you'd like to raise it. You'll notice it's coming up right there. And heads-up display, again, a great feature to see, especially since it's not something we're seeing in the Sorento anymore. You also have your tailgate control, and down below, your traction control. Up in front of me, you'll notice we have dual 10.25-inch screens. Do you want to come around?
Sure. Is there ever a reason why you wouldn't want traction control on?
If you want to have some fun. If you're stuck in mud, yeah, if you want to have some fun or if you're stuck in mud, mud is something that I would turn traction control off. All right, so right in front of me, you'll notice I've got my heads-up display again. What's going to be projected on here is, again, going to be my speed, also some quick specs. But I also want to talk about my instrument cluster. So again, I always love a digital instrument cluster, and the entire thing is digitized, but it does give us an analog style speedometer and tachometer with the option for a digital one in the center. So from here, you can go and cycle through various different elements. You can see how the vehicle responds to you as a driver. You can also see your navigation because we do have integrated navigation through the head unit. And from here, this is where you're going to see that power distribution. So when the rear is kicking in, but also your tire pressure. So lots can be seen from right here. And as you take a look at the steering wheel, do you want to zoom? Yeah, bring it out. We have a D-cut steering wheel, leather wrapped, heated, fantastic for winters. And then over here, we're going to have a split between our media controls, but then also our driving controls. Wiper stock, lighting stock, pretty straightforward, and then our media unit. So another 10.25-inch screen. You'll notice that we have navigation. Our sound mood lamp are also known as ambient lighting. So from here you can go and select, oh, it's probably clicked off. There we go, that should work. So we've got our sound mood lamp here. So not only, oh, there's no music on, that's why. So it'll give you the option for different colors or also different themes, and that'll go and project in the cabin. And you can even set it to pulse with the music should you want. And I like that, especially partnered with a premium sound system. I think it just makes it a little bit more fun. And I actually a couple weeks ago drove home from a concert in a Seltos, and I got to do that. And I feel like it just made the party keep going. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. Climate control, everything is accessible from here. And if you want to go and adjust any of those safety features that I mentioned on the outside of the vehicle, pop into vehicle, and from here you can go and adjust all of them. You can also set things like your heads-up display as well to make sure that it's at the perfect eye height. Another item I want to notice is phone projection. So this is a little bit of a hot topic, but because this is a 10.25-inch screen and this is the software that we're running, you are going to need a wire to do your Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, but hopefully the next time we see a refresh or redesign of the Seltos, that won't be a problem anymore. But overall, it's not something that would make or break it for me, especially because this generation, the wired CarPlay I find is superior to the wireless, unless it was, of course, a different software. Over here, engine start stop button, so push to start, and then down below you're going to have all of your climate control, very easy to use, and all of these buttons are going to do as they say. Again, another good reason why I like the Seltos and why it's very comparable to the Soul, just that all of the tech in it is very easy to navigate, so this is perfect for anyone of really any level of tech experience. Like this guy can't even flip the camera around, and yet he can navigate it just fine.
I feel like I'm way techier than you, to be honest.
You're pretty techy. You are pretty techy. This is true.
I admit I'm not a great cameraman. I'm a pretty good car dealer.
Yeah. I think you're doing great. Don't worry. Down below, again, more features. All of them are just going to say exactly as they do, with the exception of a star, which will give you the option to go and set a favorites button, which can be any of these options here. Same thing with your steering wheel.
Christian said I'm getting roasted.
Yeah, literally.
I mean, this is normal in the Hart household.
Humility. That's how you get humility. Wireless phone charger, which is really fantastic to see. You can charge multiple devices, and the same thing with down below. You have a 12 volt, a USB for charging and data transfer, and then also this is the USB-C is just going to be used for your charging. Oh, the gimbal. It's okay. If you need to just hold it with your hand to stabilize it, if not, press down there. Hopefully that works. I'll keep talking.
We're back on.
Okay. Down here you do have a little bit of a storage compartment, and then I already mentioned the fact that we have different drive modes. So from here, all you have to do is turn the knob and you're able to cycle between normal, sport, and smart. Like I said, each of them are going to change how the powertrain responds. Heated and ventilated seats for myself and also for your passenger, and there is that locking differential button, so press down on that and you're able to lock that center diff. However, keep in mind it is really only for those lower speeds. You still have your downhill braking control. Your heated steering wheel is over here. Oh, people have broken their necks watching this. And then also your rear view camera. It's okay, if you need to just hold it, it's okay. Your rear view camera, which will come up as the vehicle is put into reverse, and the nice thing is you have different viewpoints from it as well. Cup holders, electronic parking brake and auto hold, and then in the center console, decent amount of covered space. Up top, you'll see that we do have a sunroof, so fantastic. It's a one touch to open. And then also underneath our sunroof controls, we have our emergency assistance and roadside assistance for Kia Connect. You do have Kia Connect with this vehicle in this trim, which is going to be Kia's telematics system. So I can actually start, check the remote services for this vehicle, unlock it from my phone, and even set the cabin temperature from my phone. Again, really fantastic to see for winter. You can still start the vehicle with remote start that is integrated into your key fob. However, it's not going to allow you to actually select the cabin temperature or turn on your heated seats or heated steering wheel.
Is the heads-up display screen retractable?
Yes, it is. So if you do not like the look of it, you press the button that I showed. It's on this side. It says HUD, heads-up display, and it comes back down. So you can either raise it or bring it back down. And you can adjust the projection through the screen. Rear view mirror, ECM. Yep, that's really all there is about the rear view mirror. Our interior lighting is also LED, so full LEDs everywhere. I think except the only thing that isn't is the plate bulbs. All right, let's take a look at the second row. Okay. I'm actually gonna take the camera from you. You get to do our second row test.
I can do that.
Okay.
Okay, so like we mentioned, I'm 6'1", 6'2", depending on the shoes, and this seat is as back as far as it goes. I've got, adequate room. I've got maybe 5 or 6 inches here above me. And yeah, it's perfect.
What type of amenities do we have back here?
So we've got a couple USB-Cs, we've got air vents, we've got a pocket for maps and stuff like that. And otherwise, that's about it.
You got your center armrest.
Oh yeah, right, center armrest with cup holder. That's right.
And your seat's heated, isn't it?
Is it? Yep.
Yeah. They are. Good.
You can tell I don't do the reviews.
It's okay, you do a good job. But yeah, there actually is a lot more room back here than people would think. Another thing I'll point out is the fact that we have dual sets of lower latch anchors, and the 3 seats are also going to have rear tethers for car seats too.
I'll just show you the front seat. Okay, so Charlotte has her seat cranked up pretty good. So I would just adjust it to where I would sit. There we go. So if you're 6'5", there's no issue driving this car. There's tons of legroom. There's tons of headroom. This has a sunroof, and there's still tons of headroom.
Yeah,
so.
because sunroof, you typically lose a couple millimeters of headroom too.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you guys caught it when he was sitting in the back seat, but we do have a slight convex in the roof, so it does curve up towards where the actual seats are. I saw someone asking about the passenger seat, so let's go and check out the controls on that one. It is still going to be heated and ventilated, so it is going to be very comfortable. Let me show you guys the controls. So you have your regular 4-way down at the bottom. However, oh, you got 6-way. You don't have lumbar support. There you go. So you can raise it, you can bring it forward, and you can adjust the backrest, but no lumbar support. All right, should we do some questions?
Do you want to? Oh, we already did the trunk, didn't we?
Yeah, we did the trunk.
Okay.
Do you want to sit in the back and put that on the center console?
I can try.
It's okay, I'm coming.
All right, let's just get this set.
There we go.
Okay.
Nice. All right, so if you guys have any questions, now would be the time to drop them in the chat. I'm gonna scroll up, that way I can see some of them. Scott says, blacked out exterior is the way to go unless you've got some fun paint colors to really liven up the look. Yeah, for sure. I really like a dark exterior. I'm driving a Sorento X Pro right now, and it's in black, so everything is black, like the emblem, all of the detailing, it's all blacked out. Looks really good though.
There was a question there about drive modes and whether or not it impacts fuel economy, and it definitely does. Mm-hmm. If you run in sport, it's going to be more reactive to
throttle input.
Throttle input, yeah. And you know, you're going to use more gas. A lot of times I drive in smart, mm-hmm. and that way it just reacts to whatever you need. And there was a question in there about smart and how the cluster can change color. See if you can, if you come across it, we'll
I'm
ask
just
it.
sliding through. So yes, depending on the different modes that they are in, the cluster will change. Like what you said, is I typically drive it in smart mode too because it is the most adaptable. However, you have to do that within, like you have to be reasonable with it. It's just because you're driving it in smart mode, or if your vehicle has something like eco mode, it doesn't mean, if you're still really aggressive on the throttle, it doesn't mean that you're gonna see eco numbers. You still have to be, it's still,
it depends on how you drive.
on your realm of control, yeah.
But it enhances the driving. Like if you're running an eco and you want to floor it, it hesitates to try and mm-hmm. not burn too much gas.
Will this car fit in the average house garage? Yes, yes it will.
Charlotte, is your dad Gen X? What generation am I?
I don't know. I think you might be.
Yeah,
yeah,
sure.
I think you are.
Let's go with that.
I think that's what Mom would say. Bring your dad to work day. Yes, every day is. I put him to work today though. Okay. I'm just trying to find some questions.
There's some down at the bottom.
Oh yeah, so I've been wondering sometimes when I use the smart drive mode, most of the times the lettering is white, but turns blue sometimes. Any idea why it's okay, the lettering, not the cluster. So smart mode will change the actual color of the word smart when you are in that mode, depending on what it's doing to the vehicle. So sometimes you'll see smart written in red, and that's because it's currently utilizing the sport mode
It's geared like sport.
Yes.
In that mode.
But it's in
remember,
smart
is going to shift.
It's adaptable.
Right.
So that would be why. So it's because it's changing between those.
Christian, how much do I bench press? I don't know, but I can do 50 push-ups. So
oh, okay.
I don't lift heavy.
That will be tomorrow's live stream.
Yeah.
We will be fact checking that.
I recently read a stat that how many push-ups you could do within a minute determined how fit you were. And it said if you were in your 20s that you should be able to do 28 push-ups.
I don't know if I can do 28. I don't know if I can do 28 fast. Is this car good for getting groceries? Yes. So like I said, I drove this very much in my daily life, so for my family. And a part of that, of course, was going to be getting groceries. So the back is definitely, you have tons of cargo space. It's 752 liters. I know that probably doesn't make sense to a lot of people, but definitely enough to fit a couple full-size suitcases and carry-ons back there. But also, because the cargo floor can drop down, it creates a nice little shelf, which is really nice for groceries. That way nothing's tipping over or spilling around. I've had that happen to me a couple times with some apples.
Did you start with did you share the price on this trim?
It's $39,445
Right.
Canadian. That's the MSRP. What's the backup camera second view for? So this could be something where if you are going and putting an accessory hitch on this vehicle, it can sometimes help you with lining things up. However, it is just a different viewpoint if you want to see more of a top-down view. Okay, scroll towards the bottom.
How old was I when I had Charlotte? I think I was 23. No, that might have been Camille, 24 with you.
Okay, this is the only time Obama Bean's comment is ever going to be read. Why do you guys call it a dealer principal and not a manager? Canadian Karens will have a hard time asking for the manager. No? Yes.
That's funny.
Okay. Well, I think that's most of our questions. An EX Premium or SX, which is better? For the Seltos, well, it's going to depend on what you want. So interior, everything on the SX is going to be the same. Really, the only difference is going to be the exterior. I will say, I think that the value, when you look at the EX Premium, it's pretty hard to beat that.
But you get the turbo in the SX.
You get the turbo, so you have different powertrains.
It depends on what you want for powertrain. I would always take the turbo.
I personally like the turbo, and that's why I'm driving a Sorento right now. So.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today.
All right. Oh, is it Obama? Now I know you can see my comments. You should
Darn it! No! Errors have been made. Oh well. On that note, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. You probably won't. Hopefully,
I mean, I'll be here working.
Hopefully, Gabby will be back. Please,
guys. Thank you again for allowing me to do such a bad job on the camera.
No, you did fine. It's okay.
But it's great to see you all.
All right, snooches.